So in this video, we are going to know how to measure energy using single phase energy meter. Now we need to know objective of measuring an energy using energy meter. What we are learning here, the same way the TNEB is measuring your power consumption using energy meter. By knowing the knowledge of this, you can very well ensure that how much of power you have consumed, the given power consumption by the TNEB is correct or not. You can ensure using this concept. This is the main objective of measuring of energy using energy meter. We all know, before going to know about an energy, we must know the definition of an energy. So energy, before going to know about an energy, you must know about a power. To know a power, then again you must know about a current flow. So we have a basic definition for voltage, current, energy as well as a power value. These are all the parameters are said to be electrical parameters. In simple way, the voltage is another way called as a potential difference between 2 points. Potential difference between one point to another point is said to be a voltage value. The flow of charged particles is called as a current. And rate of work done is said to be energy. Work done per unit time is said to be energy value. The power is said to be rate of work done. Energy is work done per unit time is said to be energy. Here, how much of energy is consumed for a particular time period. It deals with time parameter also. That's what we are saying it as an energy. An instrument which is used to measure energy is called as an energy meter. Preferably, we are using in our residence. All the residents, we must have an energy meter. Conventionally, we have a rotating type of a inductive based energy meter. Now that has been replaced with electronic type of an energy meter. Once again, that is replaced with digital type of a energy meter. Now, to perform this experiment, what are all the components you must require? As I have already explained you that to know about an energy, you must know about a power. The power, the product of voltage and current. So we must have voltage parameter as well as the current parameter to derive a power, voltage and current to derive a power. After knowing the power only, you can able to measure an energy value. That's what the major components for this is ammeter as well as the voltmeter. Since we are dealing with AC voltage, we have a rated voltage of 230. So in an instrument, we have multiples of 75 or multiples of 150. We don't have exactly 230 volt of a measuring range. So that it starts from 0 to 300 variable range of a voltmeter. The same way, in all the residences, when you are working with a simple load, it must have a minimum of 5 ampere capacity. So we are taking an ammeter as at that minimum range only. It has to be varied from 0 to 5 ampere. Since everything is working with AC only, that's what, to measure an AC electrical quantity, we must use moving iron type of a measuring instrument. So to measure AC electrical quantities, we must use moving iron type of an instrument. For that, we have mentioned it as a MI type of an instrument. Whereas for a DC measuring, we need to use MC type, moving coil type of instrument we need to use. Why we need to use these two parameters is, so conventionally, we are going to measure the power consumed on the input end itself. We are comparing the available power value with the obtained power value, and we can say the difference between those two, and that value is said to be an error value. So if your error value is negative or 0, then your consumption rate is exactly recorded on the energy meter. That is the concept behind it. Meanwhile, to check the power consumption rate in our laboratory, we are using a lamp load only. But in our residence, instead of a lamp load, all the appliances should be considered as a load only. And then, since we are dealing with direct AC source, here we are going to use a double pole single throw switch, DPSTS switch, and the connections wire required. Since it is not like a conventional way of a wiring, this wiring is already given. In that given wiring only, we are going to measure the energy consumption rate. Further, we must know the certain formulas where we need to use to determine the actual power, measured power, and the difference between those two. In general, actual power, to determine this actual power, the formula is N divides by kT in kilowatts hour. where n is said to be number of revolutions. So for each load, you need to wait until it has a 3 rotation in the rotating disk, where kT is said to be energy meter constant. In our the energy meter what we are using, here we have a energy meter constant of 375. This same 375 we have introduced as a energy meter constant value. If it is a constant one, but if you want to change it, you can change the n as a n number of revolution as required. Now the measured energy, the formula for the measured energy is VA cos phi into T by 3600 into 1000. It is kilowatt hour value. Instead of this kilowatt hour, we are using this value. V and I can be taken from the voltmeter and ammeter values. Since cos phi is another way called as a power factor value, since we are using 0.8 as a constant power factor value, where T is said to be time taken. So when the time is included, this is the energy value. So VA cos phi is generally a power value. Here we are going to introduce a time period so that that power is termed as a energy consumption rate. So after knowing the actual power as well as the measured power, we can able to determine the error in the power value. So for that, the formula is actual energy minus of measured energy divided by actual energy. Now we will show you the tabulation. In the tabulation, so we are going to vary this load only. So an example, if you turn on your AC, how much power is going to be consumed for a particular time period. If you turn on your refrigerator, how much power is going to be consumed. Same way your TV, light, fan, whatever may be. So this column is said to be a load column value. In the laboratory, I have mentioned here we are going to use a simple resistive load only. If I vary the resistance load value, corresponding to the load value, the voltage and current is going to be varied. And here we are taking it as a 3 revolutions. So it is also a constant value in this laboratory. We are taking it as a 3. So based on your requirement, you can vary based on your need. This is your wish only. So I have given you the formula for actual energy and measured energy. So using those formulae, we need to determine these two as well as error 2. After completing this tabulation, we need to start drawing a graph. The graph may lie between these two shapes. We need to start drawing a graph between error versus a load current value. It may be a zigzag wave. And the another way is, it may start from 0, it may have a positive of an error or a negativity of an error. So whatever the way you are going to get the readings, both are same only as this experiment is concerned. Now the working of this is going to be explained by Dr. S. Raghuram.
Now let us see measurement of energy using energy meter, single phase energy meter. You can see the components used. Resistive load. So resistive load, energy meter, single phase, voltmeter, ammeter. Always these meters should be in horizontal direction. It should not be placed in a vertical, because if you place vertical, you can't see the exact reading. So there are 3 types of instruments: indicating, integrating and recording. That comes under integrating instrument, energy meter, because you are measuring power with respect to time. For 24 hours, what is the power consumption? Similarly, these are indicating. It is a pointer. So to see the indicating instrument, just you have to see directly. You can see the arc, silver arc. So there should not be any shadow when you see the shadow should not be seen. That is, the pointer shadow should not be seen in your eye. So you have to place vertically. So these are the setup. You can have the as usual procedure. Phase and neutral are connected across the voltmeter. Input you can see there in energy meter, like L1, S1, L2, S2. L1, S1, you can see L1 as yellow, L2 as blue. L2, S2, you can see there it has been connected to the resistive load. You can see the meter, energy meter connections now. Then you can come to the tabulation. You can come to the tabulation where we can take 4 or 5 readings. So if we increase the load, the current will increase. The voltage will be approximately equal. So 230 volt it will be nearing 230 or 228 or 226, like that. There will be minor variation around 1%. Whereas if you increase the load to 2.1, 4.3, 6.4, 8.35, so when the current will increase, when you increase the load, that means the load which are all used in our houses, that is lamp, television, mixer grinder, washing machine, all are called as load. If you switch on one by one, it will consume load. So you can see, here you can see, we are going on increasing the load, the current will increase. Based on the equations, you can find out the error. So let us start our experiment now. As usual procedure on the supply. Initially I am giving zero load. So all the times I am using 3 revolutions. Initially I am using zero load. So the revolutions can be marked, can be noted down with respect to stopwatch. Here we have a stopwatch, we have voltmeter, ammeter. So initially we have a zero revolution. So now if you switch on, the MCB, a voltmeter will reflect. Let me tell once again. So you see the voltmeter now. Once you switch on, voltmeter will deflect, ammeter will not deflect. Because once you give the load, the ammeter deflection will be there. Now I am increasing the load, say 500 watts. You can see the ammeter. The one. See the ammeter. 1 second. See. So once you decrease the load, it is showing 0. If you increase the load, it will show 2.2. So you can take 2.2. So this is connected between 0 to 10. So you take the lower scale. Then by increasing another load, you can see both ammeter and voltmeter. You can see the energy meter. Energy meter rotates. So for 3 revolutions, you have to take the reading. You can see the rotation of energy meter. So black shading will be there. You can see the black shading, now it is passing. Let me show that once again to you. For another revolution, you can see the black shading in energy meter disc. Just to keenly observe. Just you can see the energy meter disc, one black shading will be there, one black mark. That represents completed one revolution. You can see now it is crossing. So 2 revolutions got over. Accordingly to the number of seconds, how many seconds it took for completing 3 revolutions. You have to see you can see the tabulation. So these values you have to tabulate in your manual and in your record. So this tabulation you can copy down in your manual and you can copy down in your record and directly you can draw. Then if I am increasing another load, say 1500 watts. See, voltmeter will remain same. Whereas you can see ammeter it has been increased to 4.3. So like this the load will increase. You can see the voltmeter also. Voltmeter will remain same. It will be plus or minus 1%. There won't be any variation in the. That means if you increase the load, now the energy meter disc will start rotating a little bit higher speed. So whenever you are increasing the load, what happens? The speed of rotation of energy meter disc will increase. The speed of the rotation is directly proportional to the amount of load which you are using. If you are using a ceiling fan, tube light, television, the speed will be more. If you are using only television alone or tube light alone, the speed will be lesser. So for 370 revolution, it is 1 kilowatt hour. Like that, the value will vary according to the consumer side. So the main objective of this particular experiment is to identify the power consumption we are used in our house by using different electrical appliances for our day-to-day activity or day-to-day life. Thank you.